First Lady Dr. Motsepe has launched the Kgatlamping Primary School Pink Room Safe Space Initiative in Tembisa, east of Johannesburg. 6 refurbished classrooms which will provide social support services, leadership training, entrepreneurial training, career guidance, art training, plus indoor and outdoor gardening training to young learners have been launched. For more on this, I'm joined by now the reporter here on Newzroom Afrika, Mbali Thethani. Mbali, good afternoon. Good to have you with us.
Afternoon, Thabo.
So how long has this initiative been in the making?
Well, when you look at this initiative, it is an initiative which was done by a group calling themselves the Pink Forum. It is an initiative done by young ladies, and of course they said that when they began this initiative, it was basically to answer the social ills faced by the community of Tembisa. So initially they were just providing counseling to the children in that community, because they saw that, look, there was a gap here. And while they held these community meetings and community forums, they realized that, look, while we can provide some sort of counseling and support, there is a gap of allowing kids to have a safe space and a haven where they are allowed to nurture the various talents in which they have. And Thabo, when they were taking us through this initiative today, we saw the various classrooms. There was a space where pupils could look at ways of how they can learn how to do radio. There was even the issues around arts and crafts, and that was something quite big that they focused on. There's a room as well where children can learn how to do music. So these are sort of the initiatives that this group of young ladies, they've come up with. And this is where the First Lady, Dr. Tshepo Motsepe, of course, she went there today to go and look at this initiative. And you would know that she is somebody who loves initiatives of this nature, especially when it comes to childhood development. Social issues are at her heart. So, you know, it's no surprise that we saw her at this initiative.
We haven't seen the First Lady out in a while now, and largely because of the lockdowns that we have been experiencing. She has kind of been slowed down a little bit. How is she feeling, and how was her first outing in a while?
Of course, and this is something that I asked her when we had an interview much earlier on, and I said to her, well, you are a rare sight in the country, you know. And she said, well, we are under lockdown, so, you know, part of me not being out in the media space and in the public is based solely on this lockdown in which we found ourselves. She's quite happy. She seemed quite cheerful. She was speaking to everyone, and she was really interested in what the initiative was about. And she just basically encouraged more communities. You know, it shouldn't be an isolated initiative. Yes. She called on the various communities to look at what these group of young people they've done for Tembisa, and they should begin to look at their communities in which they're growing up in, and look at what they can do to change even the future of the country.
And that's important. That's what I wanted to ask you. Is the Pink Room Spaces initiative just a once-off thing, or do they have a broader plan about how this campaign will be unfolded?
Well, it is a small initiative for the community of Tembisa, but what the First Lady has basically encouraged is that you can see that this group of young people, they are providing this, these activities for the community of Tembisa, that calling on other NGOs, calling on other people who can realize and see that, you know, when we went to Orange Farm, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, and doing a story around 2 young kids who were killed in that community. One thing that kept on coming out a lot, Thabo, was the issue that there's not enough activities for young children to keep themselves busy with. You know that in most townships you find that children are roaming the streets. So this is the answer for that. If you, in your community, and you're seeing that, well, children don't have much to do, you can take that initiative upon yourself and reach out to the relevant people to help you create a safe space like this one in which we saw today.
Safe and productive space is not only that, a massive contribution towards early childhood learning as well, which is something that we are still lagging behind on here in this country. Fantastic initiative. Mbali, thank you very much for coming through.
Thank you.
As Mbali Thethani there for us, she was out in Tembisa at the launch of that initiative.